Ooh, excuse me. What a way to start, huh? That's every meowmurai scream. Starts with a sneeze. Hi everyone, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Alone in the Dark 2024, running on PlayStation 5. Right, we're on a ship. We're on a boat. Oh, did it just save right where I was standing? Okay. I really need some more health. These things have been sapping all my health. There we go. I got one. Okay, so I need to make my way to the bottom. I can throw something. Okay. That's not great. What that I can throw something? I mean, something's gonna come after me.
I can break this, I just need something to hit it with.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what I didn't want you to do. Empty gas can.
I think it just needs fuel to run.
I suppose it needs to have some sort of contents for it to be useful, huh? Once again, there's something to throw, which means something's going to chase after me. I mean, is the loot randomized? Seems weird to have all the stuff that opens up and is completely empty. Fuel tank. think. Give me some gas. Gas. Okay, we're all filled up. You guys are out there. Boogers. Okay. Did I load the gun or not? It's just when I went for the axe. Get over here, little bastard. Man, enemies are annoying. See a little bastard in there too, huh? Oh, apart from the other side. Oh, I forgot I had a dodge move. Not that it matters for these little guys.
My weapon broke. Oh, I'm out of bullets. I'm out.
How many of these things are there? All these gigantic fleas everywhere, and their weapons break so easy. Really? Oh, it does fall in here. A bunch of melee options here somewhere. Come on, buddy. Join your friends. Your dumbass just chasing me? College kids. Such a look for no melee weapon. There was something around here somewhere. Why so many damn enemies? There better be some supplies here. I am out of everything. It's a 3-pack. What's this? Ah, you little bastard. Oh, I don't have any. I'm on fire now, too. What problems did you solve doing that? Nothing. There's a bottle here. Fire's still going. First aid, please. Machete? I think it's another axe. Or a pipe. It's a hatchet. Axe hatchet, no. So we'll throw there.
Jeremy?
Are you ready to tell me what happened?
What's happening?
I put a rope around my neck, and then I strangled all life from my body.
Uncle!
Are you under the impression that you died? Yes. No. I was supposed to die. What does that mean? That you were supposed to die? I'm the catalyst. I had to die to make the story happen.
What story? What are you referring to, Jeremy?
30 years ago, Frederic needed me to die.
Jeremy!
You're not making any sense, Jeremy. Come back. Find your focus.
Uncle?
I cheated everyone. I didn't play my part. I escaped my doom. Destiny.
Again, find your focus.
Boy, she plays the game a lot better than me.
Everything is wrong. Nothing is in place.
Hey, listen to me. We're gonna drown.
Calm down, Miss Hartwood. You're not in any danger.
But Jeremy, he was here, wasn't he?
Miss Hartwood, I am beginning to suspect your family curse is catching up with you. Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
No. No, I was just confused. I thought I saw him for a moment. I'm fine. I'll let you be.
Miss, I want you to know I'm here to help. If you need me.
Well, good thing I have a gun, huh?
A ghostly voice sounding like Jeremy called out for help. Emily couldn't quite understand where the voice was coming from. It somehow seemed to be a part of the place itself. All she could make out was that Jeremy was stuck and needed her to get the steamboat running.
Again, what puzzle is in the clerk's office? I have no idea.
Detective Comby, I'm terribly sorry that my niece has pulled you into this mess. Please, with all my blessings, take her away from this cursed place. I have destroyed that eater of worlds and locked it away in the attic and retreated to a place of hiding. Tell Emily I'm safe. Tell her all the lies you can think of to make her listen. Take her back to New Orleans. Sincerely, Jeremy.
You know, I keep expecting everything to change as soon as I open a door. It's been like that for a while in this game. Trust me.
Brother, I need you to trust me. This is the most important moment in our family's history. I know you have doubts and that the terrible Mama Loa told you lies. I would never betray you. I promise. Lottie.
Lottie. You're definitely the craziest of the kids. Your brother's just going along with you. You're definitely cuckoo. Since I'm at the attic, what's in the attic? I mean, we were already there, but okay. I have no supplies, though. That's a problem. Jeremy, I don't think you locked Jack all up here. Pretty sure whatever you thought you captured one got away. Or you're just cuckoo. Which is, you know, pretty likely at this point. Need some shoddy too. Where's my shoddy gun? I mean, what am I doing now? I've done all this stuff. Oh, I need to find the place where the globe is. Wherever that is, and I can't remember. That's right. There's nothing in the empty room, right? Read the writing on the wall.
This is my room.
Does my room have guns in it? Ashes of indigo.
Derceto stands on a breeding ground for the grotesque. A temple devoted to rebellious growth. The most ugly and cancerous side of nature. You may be able to shield your psyche for a while, but rest assured your soul will come to pray to that hideous god in time. That is the story of every man and woman who gather around that ancient arbor. They all croak, bark, and bleat.
Is this game worth buying? I think it is.
To repel the evil those words conjure. Iya! Iya! Instead of that blasphemous name, they gossip in hushed whispers the name of Derceto, Astarte, and the Black God of the Woods.
Yeah, I mean, some people might feel that, you know, because it's not a, you know, because it's just a regular A title, right? It's not a AAA title, that it may not be worth the asking price. But you know, it's two different. Well, it's two different playthroughs that you can go through, and each playthrough is 8 hours. So you're looking at, you know, anywhere from you know, 13 to 15 hours, which I think is pretty good for the price. And I think the game is really well done.
I recognize this view.
I mean, I don't regret my purchase at all.
I don't know the combination. Wait, maybe I do.
Listen to me. When I get back, I'll wait here alone. In the dark. Death do us part.
When I get back, I did this. I wrote that.
Oh, I guess we got the title in here again. Alone in the Dark, huh? Just in case you were wondering what game you were playing. Okay. So I need some sort of safe combination. It's the clerk's office, so maybe I don't know the... Well, here. What is it, 1918? Oh, well, that's not really... I think I just need 3 numbers. Wasn't here again? Anything? Oh, Ruth has all sorts of stuff in here.
Ruth, are you there? No, of course not.
War photo? Henry Castle's zoetrope.
Castle built the zoetrope as an exercise in animation. He is very interested in moving pictures and has even ordered an aeroscope camera for the colony. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of phantasmagoria he will produce. For now, his zoetrope entertains me greatly. It's not the little man passing his head, well, quite humorous. It's the spell of that flickering light as it rotates. I swear, it takes me back to my childhood in a most profound way.
Yeah, and I'd say for those of you who are maybe on the fence about the game, and not really sure whether or not it's something that you should pick up, I guess it just depends on what kind of value you're looking for and what kind of survival horror you're looking for. So this is not what I consider the more traditional survival horror. So, like, if you have a very strict definition of survival horror, like you only like Resident Evil survival horror, or you only like Silent Hill survival horror, then this is not either of those. You know, maybe it's closer to like Fatal Frame style horror, but it's a lot lighter than those games, right? You know, the Fatal Frame games are all about like really heavy, serious, dark atmosphere. And this is, you know, it still has a pretty dark atmosphere, but it's just lighter, right? I mean, it's got, you know, it takes place in the, you know, early part of the century, and it's got Cthulhu elements inside of it. You know, there's a detective in here as well as the character we're playing. So, I would say it's still a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie out to scare you, right? It's a horror movie that's just out to have a very strange atmosphere, like oh gosh, I wish I could think of the movie off the top of my head that was super popular, that took place kind of in Mississippi, and it has the same kind of feeling, and maybe that was the movie that they were thinking of. Ruth's camera. Oh, I have nothing for his camera. So light puzzle solving elements, some action in here, but it's not like Resident Evil action, right? It's not Fatal Frame action. It's very light. It's very light on the action, but it is here. I mean, this is the kind of horror game that was commonly made in the late '90s and the early 2000s, right? So when the horror game genre was kind of becoming popular, you know, you'd get a lot of titles like this that were, you know, kind of getting into the horror genre, but they aren't like the pillars of the series. You know, they aren't the pillars of horror, which is okay with me. You know, I like playing games that are not necessarily trying to copy other games like the most popular genres. Like, to me, that's okay. Some people, you know, they have a very black and white view of what a horror game is. Like if it's Silent Hill, like the Silent Hill game, right? The last one, the short message. I'm perfectly okay with that game. I'm even perfectly okay with it being a Silent Hill game, you know, tied into that whole universe. But there are a bunch of people out there who only want Silent Hill from the 90s. And that's the only Silent Hill they accept. They only accept Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and sort of begrudgingly 4. Like, over the years, 4 has become popular. But it wasn't originally, right? And popular is sort of a relative word, because the Silent Hill games have never really sold very well outside of that very first game. But then if you get like the other Silent Hills, like the ones made by Western developers, well, those aren't really Silent Hill. That's not the Silent Hill I want. That's sort of how I feel about this. It's like if you like a certain kind of survival horror game, and you want it only to be like the pillars, you only want it to be like Resident Evil or Silent Hill or Fatal Frame. It's not any of those. It's a different kind of survival horror game, and it's more focused on the story. It's trying to tell a very story in a very, you know, not straightforward way either. So I happily accept this kind of survival horror as a survival horror game. And there's just, like I said, there's just some people who just can't get over it. Like, and to me, that's saying, well, you know, sports games are only good when they're cricket, right? If I'm going to play a sports game or watch sports, it can only be cricket. And if it's not like cricket, then it's not sports. You know, baseball, well, it's kind of copying cricket, but it's not cricket, right? Football, definitely not cricket, even though they have two teams and there's a score. You know, basketball, not cricket. So, you know, to me, I don't have that very narrow view of the horror genre. I'm okay with games not being like other games, and it's perfectly acceptable. Even if a game doesn't like scare me, although this game has made me jump once or twice. I'm not gonna lie. You know, because I think the atmosphere is kind of there, but it's not trying to like push a very oppressive atmosphere down on you. It is, again, it's just lighter, and you know, I like that. I like different kinds of horror games, just like I like different kinds of action games and different kinds of role playing games. I've seen so many video essays about how, like, maybe this game isn't a survival horror game. It's like, no, it is a survival horror game. It's just not like the stuff that maybe you like. You know, in your terribly narrow view of what survival horror is and what is not, right?
Sometimes I think this place makes me worse. That Derceto might be my grave. A coffin made of ostentatious architecture. A Taj Mahal for the drunken depressed. There's something about Derceto. Something about Dr. Gray. Like we all pretend that we're here to get better. When in fact we are here to be forgotten.
Yeah, I really get down on like other folks that watch or make horror content, make horror streams, and they're like, oh man, I played this Alone in the Dark, or I played, and it wasn't like Signalis, and Signalis is the only kind of game that I like. It's like, no, dude, that's just a different game, and it's just kind of aping the other games that you prefer, but it's still a valid game. I mean, I just don't really get it. I said that's my cricket analogy. It sounds ridiculous, right? Somebody saying, well, if a game is not like cricket, then it's not sports. That's the same thing as somebody saying, well, this game is not survival horror because it's not Silent Hill or Fatal Frame or Resident Evil. If it's not any of those things, and it's not things that I like and the style that I like, then they're not horror games. It's like, man, come on, man. Give me a break. What are you, from the 17th century? Like this game? It's a horrible attitude to have, because then nobody would make original games if you can only make a game that's like other games that are popular. As I said, to me, that's a bad take. You know, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that stops me. Like I just can't remove that plank. Just remove the plank. Don't even get me started on the remake of Silent Hill 2 and how people are yeah, they have very selective memory about how Silent Hill 2 was. We'll get to that when that game comes out. I got a lot to say about the haters there.
There's something missing.
Map of the Caribbean. Or Caribbean. Still jerking off on the floor there, dude. Probably thinking about looking at my skirt, huh, you pervert? Well, I am too. I mean... Okay, so that was just getting extra stuff. That wasn't like a essential for the game for me to get that piece from the globe. Okay, so I need to find the combination to the safe in my room, or what looks like my room. Something's got to happen in these bathrooms. I mean, why do they exist? Is it just for you to go in here? I'm kind of running out of places to go, if I'm being honest here. Ruth's room? Ruth's room has a puzzle now? What? Does it? Oh, that's right, it's for the camera. Okay, I need some sort of thing. I don't really know where to go. There's my room, and then whatever the puzzle is in the Dr. Gray's office, I have no idea what that could possibly be. All the other doors are blocked in the dining room? Really? Does that mean I need to go to the dining room? I have like nothing though. Oh, okay, now I need a key for that place. Didn't need a key before. Whoop. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the things about this game, though, is that there is maybe some points where you're just going to be wandering around going, okay, where do I go next? And so you just keep wandering around until you finally find some sort of trigger somewhere. Like, I don't necessarily have a good clue of where I would need to go next. And like so many doors like lock. You know, they're open one time and then they're locked another time. So it sort of defies like the normal video game logic that once you unlock a door, it stays unlocked. But that's not the case in this game.
It looks haunting in this light.
Why didn't she say something? She said something different. Yeah, like I said, I'm having a great time. I know that many people aren't as into this game, but I don't stream because I'm looking for views. So I stream because I want to play games that are interesting to me. I know it's a silly thing to say. But yeah, thankfully my my financial stability does not depend on streaming. If it did, then I'd be having to stream Minecraft and Fortnite, because those are the things that people stream if they want to have a large audience. Opera playbill. Okay. Yeah, and like new things show up in the same rooms that you've been in. So again, it's just not really like other survival horror games. I mean, they really were trying to do something different. I think they succeeded. And I think it might be just too light. Like it's not trying to scare you like a lot of other horror games are. I'd say this is more like a suspense than I would a horror game. Maybe that's a better fit.
It's blocked.
Preparations for St. John's?
We must have faith that Jeremy's pact with the Dark Man is a bluff. If we are lucky, our visitors will find him and prove it's all nonsense before night falls. What is true is our attempt to call on her. Too many things have happened for this evening to be in vain. Think of Jack and Cassandra, even Perosi, whose circumstances I can't understand. Grace is our goat without horns. She knows it and will play the role. You must talk to your brother, Batiste. I worry that he will fail us. Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, think back, if we're talking about game genres, like when Zelda Breath of the Wild came out, would people, I mean, there are people out there who don't consider that a normal Zelda game. It's like, it's not Zelda, it's a different game. Because they just want Zelda with the same puzzles and the same layout as like Twilight Princess, that style of Zelda game. But for the rest of us who are willing to accept, a game in a series or a genre that's new and different and maybe not what we expect, then I think this is something that's a bit of a refreshing game. It's kind of a pleasant surprise. Especially when you consider the history of the Alone in the Dark games, which is they're just so full of crappy games. It's just nice to have a game with this franchise name, and them taking some effort into the remaking the original game. Broken Spectacles, because the original game is old. It's ancient. I mean, I played that on the 386 back in the day.
What did you expect from them? You created too much. There wasn't any room to breathe. Your reification rendered all possible worlds void. You took everything they could imagine and constrained it into something that you didn't even care about. Or maybe you did. Perhaps you cared the most of all. Maybe you tried to save them from themselves, and that is why you had to die.
But even if this wasn't part of a long existing franchise, I think it would still be interesting.
Locked.
And to a lot of people, this isn't a long-existing franchise. You know, this is like brand new to them. Like they probably never even played any of those other games. Thank goodness. 'Cause I think it's only that first game of this whole series of games was really, really good. You know, even the original sequels to these games, you know, Alone in the Dark 2 and 3, they were not quite as good as the original. They had a much different focus. You know, focused on action, which is, you know, very early in the life of survival horror game. These games turned to action games. So it wasn't just Resident Evil that eventually just became an action game. It was their granddaddy. Alone in the Dark also became an action game after a while.
I think Dr. Gray is in there. Maybe I can go snoop around his office then.
I've been to his office, though. Well, but, you know, this game is all about visiting the same locations over again. Go see what. I think I've already been here, right? Or I've already been here twice. Yeah, that's right. Been to Cassandra and Grace's room. How do we get back to Lottie's room? Looks like Lottie's room is blocked off. Well, she said to go see Dr. Gray's office, so let's go. I guess. Nothing new here. Okay, well, I am not sure what to do, so I guess we'll sleep on it and maybe something will happen tomorrow. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Alone in the Dark 2024 running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.